Picture this: a tranquil Hawaiian evening, palm trees swaying, the scent of salt in the air, then the screech of electric motors and a collision of violence. How does someone go from California's nightmares to terrorizing Honolulu streets? Stay tuned. Infinity News has the full scoop. Welcome back to Infinity News. Today's story is part true crime nightmare, part cautionary tale about our justice system. Less than a year ago, 39-year-old Nathaniel Radimak was released from a California prison. Now, he's in handcuffs again, this time on Oahu. Let's rewind. In February 2023, Southern California drivers were stunned as dash cams captured a man in a Tesla hurling a metal pipe at passing cars on a busy freeway, shattering windows, denting fenders, and risking lives at 65 miles per hour. When officers finally cornered him, they discovered nearly $30,000 worth of steroids in his car. He was sentenced to 5 years behind bars for multiple counts of assault with a deadly weapon, criminal threats, and vandalism. Yet by August of last year, Radimak walked free. Why? A combination of time-served credits, pre-trial days in jail, and good behavior reductions, totaling over 800 days off his slate. Was this early release a triumph of rehabilitation or a grave miscalculation? Let me know what you think. Should violent offenders get that many credits? Comment below. Fast forward to May 7th. Around 6 p.m. on a quiet stretch of Halekauwila Street in downtown Honolulu, residents heard something unusual: the whir of a Tesla accelerating through a residential neighborhood. Witnesses estimate he was doing at least 40 to 50 miles per hour, double the local limit. An 18-year-old teen, practicing parallel parking outside her home, leaned out the window and shouted, "Slow down!" What happened next shocked everyone. According to Honolulu Police Department reports, Radimak slammed on the brakes, leapt out of his gray Tesla with an Oregon plate, and confronted both the teen and her mother, 35-year-old Diane Ung. Ung says she was holding an iced coffee when Radimak charged across the street, landing what she described as a Superman punch to her face. "I saw stars, heard my skull crack," she recalled. The blow left her with a deep cut and a coffee-stained shirt, not to mention the emotional scars. Her daughter, who'd only wanted to learn parallel parking, watched in horror while an infant sat safely inside the car, untouched. What would you do if you witnessed an attack like this? Would you step in, call for help, or freeze in shock? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective matters. Police say Radimak then jumped back into his Tesla and fled the scene. But thanks to quick neighbor calls and traffic cameras, officers found him the next day in Waikiki. He now faces charges of unauthorized entry into a motor vehicle and 2 counts of assault. Plus, because he was on parole, there's a no bail warrant. His bail set at $100,000. This isn't just about one man's rage, it's a wake-up call for parole policies nationwide. Should someone with a documented history of violence be free so early? We reached out to a criminal justice expert who warns that good behavior credits are intended for non-violent offenders. When applied to violent cases, communities pay a steep price. On the flip side, proponents of parole reform argue that overcrowded prisons and rehabilitation programs require flexibility. They point to studies showing that some early release mechanisms reduce recidivism when paired with proper oversight. But as Radimak sits in a Honolulu cell once again, many are asking, did the system put the public first? Do you believe parole boards should have stricter guidelines for violent crimes? Or do you trust the process to weigh each case individually? Post your opinion below. Let's get this conversation started.